Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at the French PBY-5A Late as part of the Premium Series. This is a vehicle that, I must admit, I do not fly. It's one of those because it's rank 1, 1.7, it doesn't do any daily tasks, and well, the only time I feel, I really fly this thing is if I want to fall asleep quicker, because most slow float planes like this and slow bombers of this BR are surprisingly therapeutic. But as per usual, in the description below there'll be usual links to the TikTok, Discord and the Patreon should you wish to support the channel. And of course, special shout out to my Patreon members Boss, Nas and Rembrandt for supporting the channel via Patreon. So, the French PBY-5A Late is actually slightly unique compared to other PBY-5s. And well, the answer is the front turret. I know there's like a sonar thing here, ignore this is not modelled. We actually get two 7.62 Browning machine guns in the front instead of one. And that's about it, really. Not much changes in terms of anything else. Obviously, there's this sonar thingamabob. You get the naval mines, which, by the way, these are bugged, so don't use them unless you set them to 0 fuse, so we'll be using 1,000 pound bombs today. But yeah, otherwise we get quite a large selection of other things. We obviously get torpedoes, we have small bombs, medium-sized bombs, magnetic mines, and of course 1,000 pound bombs. And well, it's not a bad aircraft, it has some armor protection for the crew, but it's so slow. I mean, I know it has 1,500 horsepower engines, but this thing has so much drag from its hull design. It's not even funny. And well, let's just say I don't exactly get the most exciting games in this thing, so you might have a couple of games today. Depends on how things go. But other than that, there's not really much to talk about this thing because, as I said, it's not really a plane that I fly. And if you have a look at the mark of distinction, that just proves it. I've barely flown this thing. Normally I'd get my mark of distinctions done, but, well, I just haven't with this one. So, let's get into a match and see how we do. And welcome to the match. We've got a lot of HE-100s in the area, which I'm not a fan of, let's just say. I will say it's taken me nearly 4 minutes to fly to this bombing point. It's been rather boring, but luckily that's the power of having your phone on your desk, I guess. I've just been watching like TikTok reels and stuff like that because, well, I've just been bored flying here. That's kind of how it is with this thing, and not much is ever going to change about that because, well, it's a Catalina. She ain't exactly an entertaining plane. At times she can be, but well, at the same time, it's a plane that you don't really, think about. I believe it's 1,000 for this BR because I just watched a bot, which I think has been shot down now, drop 8 50-kilogram bombs, and well, that did it. And yep, that seems to do it. They're all going for the TBF, which is fine. So we will take out a couple more bases then. But yeah, so for those that don't know, any account that has a thing like this with their username, highly likely going to be a bot. So just make sure to report them because it's automating of the gameplay, and well, that's against terms of service, so make sure to do that. But yeah, sadly this is pretty much how these matches tend to go. Like, I'm just sat around twiddling my thumbs, I can't really deal with these HE-100s because the TBF is diving away. Like, I can bomb these bases, but like, that's not really entertaining for you lot. So, I mean, it's entertaining for one of you, but that one person is a bomber main. There's that guy over there. I might as well drop my last bomb and then I'll probably go gunship mode. Because like I say, it's taken me nearly 4 minutes to get to these bombing points, and well, I'm kind of losing my hair because I'm that bored. And that is sadly how it goes. And thankfully this thing is so slow, you can miss your bombing point and it's not a problem. Alright, let's turn in, see if we can get another ground target or something with the remaining bomb. We might as well. I'm going to throttle back so I don't rip the wings off, because it is quite easy to rip the wings off a Catalina. He's trying to pitch up for me, so I'm going to try and get this 1,000 out before he does. You are not going to hit me from that distance, my friend. So let's see if we can drop it on that tank there. That's primarily what I'm going to aim for. And bomb release. Might have released it a little bit too late, but it's fine. Here comes the 109. Swing the guns over to the starboard side, and open fire. See, I remember Catalina guns pretty well, but you know, you have a 50 cal. Good hits. It's definitely taught him a lesson. He did nick our tail a little bit, but we're fine. The 1,000 pound bomb did its job. Good. Right, well, he's going to run back to his base, so I'm going to start descending and go gunship mode, because not a whole lot for me to do, I'll be honest. Oh, and also, I don't have this thing on a great cruise, so that's why that HE-100 didn't pop up immediately. But obviously, the thing is with a Catalina, when you're flying at these sorts of speeds, you have to be very careful. So you'll notice I'm tapping the rudder every so often. You kind of have to. I'd call it the B-17 trick, because you have to do the same thing in a B-17. And, well, this isn't as big as a B-17, but, you know, it's one of those things, you know? Like, it's a plane that you just fly and, you know, you just take it out once in a while. You don't really fly it because it's, you know, entertaining or whatever, but, it's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be featured in the series at some point, so, you know, it's got to be done, but it's more of the case of that, you know, I have to fly it as well, you know, like, it's hard to it's hard to explain it, but, like, it's in the series for a reason, but at the same time, it's also not the most entertaining for me or you. Alright, the HE-100 is making a mistake here. We could capitalize on that. No, I can't get guns down on that. Let me lose some speed first. You'll notice this is quite hard work on both my rudder and also my ailerons, because I'm having to use them quite a lot to make sure the wings don't tear off. The BF-109 probably got back to base without little issue, but still, it's the thought that counts. We managed to deal with him to some extent. And these are the last players as well, and there goes the F2A. I could be able to capitalize on this, hold on. Got some hits. Buffalo's gone down, so we're on our own here, folks, but that's fine. Let's bring her around. No, don't tear the wings off after all the work we've done. HE-100 is pretty damaged, so I'm going to try and finish off Snake, because KD dude isn't seeming to be bothered by our presence, which he could come to regret. We just got a crit notification, so that's probably the 109. Could also be this one, but I doubt it. There's a severe. That's a fire, he's done. Down goes him. See, never underestimate a Catalina. They can both take a hit, and they can also dish out a hit. Right, it's time to teach you all an old arcade trick. Stick Ogden knows what I'm doing here. And for the left side gunner. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially jamming the guns from overheat. And then that gets me a free reload. There we go. That's that done. So now, when that HE-100 comes back, we should be okay. I'm going to actually look at this guy's player card. Yeah, I kind of suspected that. So this guy knows what he's doing. But at the same time, he's a KD farmer. I mean, the clue's in the username, innit? Some people, man, they have no hobbies, genuinely. They will stat pad at any sort of tier just to say, hey, I got 10 to 1 in a HE-100. Congratulations, would you like a medal? But no, I don't agree with people doing that. You know, like, if you've flown it more than 100 times, just stop. It's as simple as that. Alright, since he's not engaging us, I'm gonna go for this BF-110 bot. Might as well do something, I guess. Here comes another one. Let's see if we can get that with a front gun. Got some hits. Obviously, we're never going to catch these things, but we don't have to. We can intercept them on their flight path. And yeah, he's just going for players. He's not bothered about me right now. He will come for me later, no doubt. But yeah, some people are just sad and they need to get a life and get outside. Like, that guy needs to go touch some grass if he's been playing the HE100 that much. More hits. No real good damage, but that's 30 kills for you, I'm afraid. Here comes Muller 1945. So let's see if he'll come for us. He'll probably want revenge. I'm lighting this dude up with 30 cal, but, well, it's 30 cal. US 30 cal's kind of shit. And yep, there goes the VG. So it's just me on my own against 2 enemy fighters. It's doable. Not easy, but it's doable. We'll have to get low though, because we don't want them taking advantage of us. He's not bothered by our presence. The HE100 will be, but I'll just get low, and then that gives them less approach angles, and plus it means I can maneuver at low altitude. So let's get as low as we can, because we don't want them winning on forces and everything, but also we don't want them taking advantage of the tail damage that we already have, because that could matter. But they only have 113 tickets left, so we should be okay. They don't seem to be bothered by me, so I'm just going to fly into the distance, and that'll be the end of that. So since it's going to take a couple of minutes for that to happen, I'll see you back in the hangar. And welcome back to the hangar. We managed to win that game thanks to both our contribution with the base bombing, and the HE100 kill did actually matter because that did bleed 100 tickets, so that's at least something. I will say though, I wouldn't recommend buying any of the premium Catalinas these days. They're not very good. And to be honest, like, the only thing you'd be buying them for is base bombing. And I'll be honest with you, if you want to do that, just go to a rank 2 plane and do it there, because you can actually do your first daily task. So for example, this thing didn't even get me one check on that clear sky objective you see on the right hand side. So, you know, it's one of those things to think about. You know, like, these premiums are here for a reason. Obviously, I got this thing not long after it first came out, because I had spare G left over. But the issue is that there's just no benefit to buying these premium Catalinas anymore, unless you're a bomber main, I guess. And even then, it's just, you know, you're not really contributing a huge amount to your team. Like, yeah, the ticket bleed is nice, but ultimately you're not really shooting down enemy aircraft unless you know how to fly a Catalina like I do. But, you know, there's only so much I can do with a Catalina, and, well, we managed to get a kill, which is the nice thing, but ultimately, this is just a plane I would heavily recommend avoiding. Next up in the series for the planes is the P-40F-5 Lafayette. Want to buy more treasured aircraft, because I do love using this thing, and, well, it's going to be a good one. Obviously, I'll take the bombs off, because the last time I flew this thing was in Grand RB. And, well, it's not a bad little plane. It's definitely worth the investment, but, you know, it's getting to the point where, like, I can't even recommend the French starter pack anymore because the B1 is kind of outdated and everyone knows how to kill it. And there's a lot more guns that can kill it. So, honestly, picking up this thing on its own for 350G on sale is actually really good to have. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the PBY-5A Late, and I'll see you next time.